All right, good evening. Can you hear me? Good evening. If you can hear me, unmute your mic.
Yes, sir. Good evening. We can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. Um, Others, can you hear me? Mr. Ismail, Mrs. Kinde, are you there?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
All right. So,
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
all right. I will be starting in the absence of probably a other person, but I don't have much time. All right. So, this is Excel class. Yes, I think I'm correct. Excel class. So, I'll introduce myself. My name is Dotun Aremola. Yes, you can call me Dotun. So I'll be the facilitator for the Excel class. So don't be surprised that I'm probably doing a lot of things because I can do a lot of things because I know a lot of things. So basically, I think I created a slide for this. Let me see. Can I share my screen? Yes, entire screen. Yes. Yeah, sure. Can we see my screen?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Yes, you can see.
All right. How did you do this thing? Okay. All right. So basically today we're talking about Excel. I'll be explaining some like this is going to be an introduction to Excel basically, and I believe some of us here are probably in the data analysis class for Power BI, and I think I was in a class yesterday when the facilitator said the formulas used in Power BI are basically the same thing used in Excel. The difference between Excel and Power BI is that Power BI is like an advanced software to Excel when it comes to data visualization. But when it comes to calculations, data visualizations, anything you want to do, data entry and whatever, Excel is the thing, is the basic thing you need. That is what you need. So this is Excel, and I'll be going through some things briefly. So now, what is Excel? I'm sure we've probably come across questions like this. Most of us are probably keen or we are used to Excel. Yes. So Excel basically is a spreadsheet developed by Microsoft. I believe you all know. I think we are familiar with Excel, Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, because basically I'm sure we all used PowerPoint and Microsoft Word in our final year, probably when we're doing a project or seminar or COS presentation or whichever. We use Microsoft Word and PowerPoint basically. But Excel is a different type of software entirely. It's a spreadsheet where you can input different data. Now let's go back to our universities. Once you're done with your exam, your scores and everything are inputted on a particular spreadsheet, which is called Excel, before printed on a paper or probably uploaded to your school website for you to check your results. It's always done with Excel. You cannot, for any day-to-day activity, you need Excel. Once you are in the finance world, even if you are in the medical world, you need Excel to for like data. Data is one of the biggest thing ever. So the purpose of Excel is for storing data, like I've said. You can use it in any organization. It's for organizing data. So after storing your data, then you organize it by inputting it correctly, deleting some things you don't need, and making sure everything is correct. And you can use the same Excel to manipulate data, and also for calculations. And we have basic formulas for calculation. We have sum, we have mean, that's meaning, and mini. We have VLOOKUP. We have different type of functions. We have average, sum. Like we have a lot of function when it comes to Excel, and we can also use Excel. That's the beautiful part of Excel, and how broad it is. You can use it to create chart, like I said, data visualization. So the data, if I give you a particular data in form of data, you can sort it out, clean up the data, then now present it to me in form of a pictorial form, probably in bar charts, line charts, whichever type of chart you want to use. That is basically what we use. And when it comes to Excel, we have columns, we have cells, we have different type of things. So now this is a pictorial presentation of what Excel is. So if you open any type of Excel, if it's 2013 Excel, you have 2012, 2006, and 2014, 2016, 2024, whichever type of Excel you have, this is the way you're going to see your Excel format come out. The only difference is the 2006 might not have the update of the 2023 or 2022. Different update comes out. So if you are using the old one, you might not get what somebody has in theirs in 2023. So like I said, Excel is for data entry. You want to probably input some things. Let's for example say you're working in a store where they sell bed, and you are the cashier. You are the ones at the end of the day, at the end of your shift, you are the one that you are going to submit, or like they say account. Yes, I think I usually hear people say they want to make account of probably something. Can we still hear me, please, before I continue? Can we hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, thank you. Yeah, so I usually hear people say they want to make account of probably something. That is where. So if you're working in a firm that you guys are big enough, you can use Excel. Probably use computer. They are going to use Excel. So probably you sell 35 beds in a day. Probably a 6 by 12 bed or a 20 by 60 bed, whichever type of bed. You're going to input the type of bed you sold, the manufacturer of the bed, then the price of the bed, the actual price of the bed, and if you sold in profits, you're going to input if it's to go for 60k and you sell for 65k, you input that, which is a margin of probably 5k, you made a profit of 5k. Like that, if you do that, you just input everything in your Excel. So the act of you doing that on your Excel is called data entry. The act of you inputting all those things is called data entry when it comes to Excel. So you enter data, your boss might give you a list of people on paper and tell you that take this in my laptop, open the Excel spreadsheet and input all these things on it. So the act of you using Excel to input all those data is called data entry when it comes to Excel, the use of Excel. You can't use any other thing aside Excel. That's why Excel is important. And we have different type of things. We have cells and we have columns. So you can either change fonts, like I said, it's the same thing on Word and Power BI or PowerPoint, whichever. You can change the font, the size, the color, the alignment. You can either make it bold, italic, whichever way you want to do it. You can choose to design the cells of the Excel to probably differentiate a section and a different section as probably you want to use it. Then now we have formulas also. Like I said in the beginning, we have basic type of formula. You can use Excel to calculate. For now, if you are somebody that probably you're not too good in mathematics, and there's probably calculation. I'm not talking about calculus and all these big what's it called, mathematical induction calculation of statistics. No, I'm talking about probably basic calculations. You can go to Excel and just input all the numbers, then you get what your answer. Probably addition, multiplication, division. You can use it. You probably want to get the sum of a large number. You can use Excel for that. You want to get the average of a large bulky number. You can use that for it. That is the way they probably grade everybody. So if you've all been in the school setting where you are doing 15 courses or 12 courses or 10 courses, then they give you a particular grade, a number, then they divide everything by probably somebody joined. Okay, so you're probably you probably have been in university where you add your grades. Probably are doing 11 courses or 10 courses, whichever. Then they probably they added everything, then summed everything up, then divided it by a certain to get the average, your CGPA, whatever. That is how we use Excel for. That is what we can use Excel for. We have the basic functions of Excel. Yes. So this is how it is on Excel. You go to the formula section on the Excel, then you see. Sorry, who's that? right? So you see something like this, you see some if, concatenate, count, whatever. There's a lot and a lot of formulas and functions on Excel. That is why it is widely used. If you have probably been applying for jobs or if you've been working, they will tell you that you need, as an accounting student, you definitely need to know how to use Excel. If you're in the finance sector, you need to know how to use Excel. You can't escape it. So if you cannot use Excel, you definitely need to learn how to use Excel if you're in those sectors. Because if you're working in a banking firm, you need to know how to use Excel. Because how are you going to do your spreadsheet at the end of your report at the end of probably the month for your targets, the things you've made? If you're working in a big firm, probably in another, you need to know how to use Excel because you'll be using it like your day-to-day activity for the Excel to probably get a report at the end of the day. So the basic functions and things you need to know how to do, yes, you need to make sure how to do that. So like I said, also you can use them to sort data, filter data, and all like that. Sorting data is you are arranging it. So for example, if I have 1 to 10, but the 1 to 10, the 10 is starting the data I have. Probably 10 is up and 1 is probably in the middle or is scattered. You can use sorting of data to like sort it to make it start from 1 without even having to type it by yourself. You just copy everything, then go to an option on Excel as sort. Then it's going to ask you if you want to go from ascending to descending or descending to ascending. Then you correct it. As simple as that. No stress. You can use that to filter different type of things. If you have cities, probably you have Lagos, all the states we have, the 6 states we have in Nigeria. Then on the heading you have country. You can use that for you to filter it. It will change to probably local government under a particular state. It will help you filter. That's one thing about Excel. Data sorting, data filtering. It's going to help you do that. And this is a pictorial presentation of what we are doing. You can see on my left hand side, you can see size. You have small, we have medium, we have large. So if I click size, after I filtered it, I can easily choose only, if I choose size and I choose small, it will remove everything that has medium and large and only show me the results for small. If I choose medium, it will remove everything that is small and large and leave only medium. That is you filtering the data. So let's assume you have a data of probably 1,000 lines and you have to go through everything one after the other, and you know how stressful that can be. So if I have 1,000 line of data and I want to filter it so I can get different type of sizes and probably amount. Probably people bought something for 10 naira, 5 naira. So I want to know how many people bought something for 30 naira. I'll just click on the amount, click on 10 naira. It's going to give me the only list of people that bought something for 10 naira. Then I will note that somewhere. Go for 15 naira. How many people bought it? It's there. As easy as that. So you don't have to be scrolling from one end to the other to going through 1,000 lines to check who bought this and who bought that. It's going to be very, very stressful. That is filtering and sorting our data for you. As easy as that. We'll still go for the practical part. We have charts and graphs. So like I said, you can also use Excel for data analysis. That is the beauty of everything. So once you can do all these things, then you should be able to use Excel to create a graphical presentation for anything you're doing. That is the fun of Excel. That is where we use pivot tables, where you have bar charts, line charts, pie chart, whichever chart, any type of design you want to do. You can make it beautiful by using all those data as your boss gives you in work that you think they are laying somewhere and wasting. If you pick them and put them in Excel, you can use it and create a pictorial presentation for your boss that is going to, okay, it's probably going to be surprised that this is how you do it. So you can change data to visualization. A data of probably 5,000 lines or whatever, 5,000 lines or 5,000 rows and probably 10,000 columns. You can change it to just a sheet of representation. That's how good Excel and broad Excel spreadsheets are. Different type of charts, you can create charts, different type of charts. As you can see, I have a pictorial presentation for that, 3D. We have bar charts, column charts, but whichever chart, and there are more. One thing about Excel is you can have different type of plugins of different type of charts on your because these ones are basic ones, but there are other ones you can use different types, blocks. You can use different types. So once we go into what's it called, Excel itself, then we're going to see all these things by ourselves. I think I've explained this. Alright, so now we are on the Excel formulas and functions. So I'll just be explaining some. Like I said, you will be making use of formulas. It's very, very important. You can't escape it. You'll be using formulas because there are times you're going to have a lot and lot of data, and you need to probably get an average. You need to get the sum. Because once you click Ctrl Shift down, it's going to help you copy all the numbers. Then you can easily see it. Let me make an example. Let me see. Let me show you something. So now this is my Excel sheet here in front of me. I'm sure we can see it. So I can basically just write 2000. Yeah. Let me just make it long. I want to yes. So you can see I have 2000. I can just probably change it 444. I want to just randomize the number so we can see for the sum. So I have a lot of numbers here. So if I want to alright, so if I want to get the sum of this is my Excel sheet. You just come from here and you just, like your mouse, your left side of the mouse, you just put your hand on it, then copy everything. And if I put it down and I come here, this is sum on this other side, then it's going to give me the total number of all the numbers that I have, which is what, 62,622,230. That is the sum of everything I have. So that is the beauty of what is it called, of Excel. Now, like I said, this is the interface of Excel. This is how Excel looks like. We have the file section where you have create new, you have home, create new. If you have an existing Excel sheet, you can open it, and you have different type of a blank workbook. Welcome to Excel, like a different type. These are the ones that I've probably been using. I think I've been working recently. Fine. And you have save, all this stuff like that. Everything is there. Then I go back. We have the home side where you have the paste. You have, like I said, the font area. You have the size. You can make whatever you're doing bold, anything you're doing. Then you have lot and lot of options here. You have conditional formatting. I'm going to explain that as we go into the class in probably days to go. You have cell type. You have insert. The filter and sorting I was talking about, this is it, as you can see. Let me do something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now if I want to sort from smallest to largest, it's going to be normal because I arrange it very well. If I want to go from largest to smallest, as you can see now, it has started from 10 and down to 1. If I want to correct it back by sorting it, then I'm going to have from smallest, and you can see 1 is back. That is how it is. So let's assume I have 5 here and I have 4 here. So let's see if it's going to help us correct it. As you can see now, Excel has helped us correct it. It has changed where the 5 was before and where the 4 was, and helped us to correct it. That is the beauty of Excel for you. You can use it to do any like different things. That's what you can use Excel for. And we have the insert side. You can probably add, this is pivot table like I was talking about. If you want to do data analysis with it, you have recommended charts. You have charts here. There are a lot of charts here. You can see scatter, different type of charts. There's bar chart here. You can see different type of charts if you want to do data analysis with it. And this is another one here, different type of charts. So once you are good at Excel, you can do different things with Excel aside even calculations and everything. Pivot charts, it has a lot of things, and you can see everything here. You have slicer. I'm going to explain that later and later. Page layout. We have formulas. These are like formulas. as you can see now, let's do something here. I want to check for the average of this. You come to your inserts and let me choose for average. Now, okay, I'm picking all the numbers. Are we still there? Can we still hear me, please? Hello, can we still hear me?
Yes. I can hear you.
All right. Let me rearrange this back to the way it's supposed to be. Filter this one is to get okay. So now I want to explain some things to you. So before I probably proceed, now if you look at this area, you're going to see A, B, C, D like that, like alphabet continuously. It's so very it's very long. And on the left hand side, you're going to see 2, 3, 4 like number. Now these ones, from the way I'm marking it like this, these are called rows. These are called rows, like ROW. They're called rows in Excel. And everything like this is called column. That is one thing about Excel, so we need to put that in mind. So I can tell you that if I have this number here, yes, if I have this number here, I can tell you to help me pick, and I can just tell you that, okay, go to D5. If I tell you to go to D5, that is you coming to D here on the column side. This is D here on the column side on row 5. So that is D5. D5 column and row. Different type of numbers. So you just check the number from here. A1, B2. Different. I can tell you to come to, what is it called? P7. That is me telling you to go to the column P, and on the row 7 you're going to see the number I'm telling you to look for. So you don't need to put all these numbers on your head, because you'll be looking at the Excel sheet in front of you and you'll be seeing everything. So the cells are number. So most times if you want to calculate some things, probably you want to calculate equal sign, you want to calculate probably some things. If equal signs, when you put equal signs in Excel, there are lots of formulas there, like a lot of formulas there, plenty, that you can see the way I'm pressing different type of alphabet is bringing out different type of formula. Anything you're looking for is Excel has it. Anything you're looking for, Excel has it. Anything you need, Excel has it. Different type of formula. So if you type any alphabet, if I want to use any formula, if I want to use average, I can probably just equal sign, then you type your average, then you now type the cell you want to use. It can be maybe D1, maybe you are telling the formula or what you're doing to help you look for the average of a particular number in D2 and N1. So the Excel already knows the numbers that are there. Then basically it's just going to pick all those things for you and calculate the average or the sum or whatever. Where is that? Oh, my time is up. So it's basically just going to pick that. That's one thing about Excel. So you want to type any type of formula you want to type, just type the equal sign, then anything you want to do, maybe sum is going to be there. And if for people that are very good, you can use it to probably do anything. We have statements that we can use Excel for. Excel is also like a computer program. I don't know if I've probably heard about something called Visual Basic before, where you have some type of statements, if statements, and like I'm not a computer person, so I don't know much about all these things. But there are different type of statements when it comes to coding and everything that some computer students probably know. But Excel has all these things. I think there's something you call if then. If Dotun is not a facilitator in Excel, then somebody else to probably do it. That's like a statement when it comes to computer programming. Excel has all these formulas. So once you type the equal sign, you can just input anything. Input anything. Use this. So basically, in the course of the class, we are going to be using Excel to probably do something with data. I'm going to teach you how to use Excel for basic formulas, probably how to input. You already know how to input data already. I'm going to teach us how to convert data into visualization, like data analysis, but I'm not going to go deep into the data analysis part, but I'm going to probably show you a briefing. So now I want to do something else for us. So let's assume now I have data already that I want to just input. Probably I've been given data and I want to input something. Then you come to your open section and you look for it, probably wherever the data is. I don't know if I have any data on my PC. I'm going to have to look for it if I do. I'm not sure I do. I have a lot of data, but there are some that are confidential that I can't probably put out. But let me see if I have any on my PC. Alright, I have data sets of files. So I have data sets here that we can probably use. Let me use student mathematics. Yes, then you open it. So now this is how your data will probably look like. Let me show you again. You can see now for this data, if I control A everything, I have a total number of 13,464 like data sets on this only probably data set I'm making. The sum of 168 106,000 and an average of 20 like that. So this is something. So if you are using Excel, you'll be coming against all sort of things like this. You can see I have student, school, a lot of things here. A lot of, now this looks like rubbish if you are into if you use Excel, but that is where sorting comes in. That is where filtering your data comes in. It is called cleaning. So now you have something like this, you've been given something like this, then you now have to clean it up so that you can now make it a representation or make it okay. So you can probably get the things you're looking for. Now I have students here. Probably going to expand it so I can see student ID, there's school, there's sex, there's age, there's address. This is me now sorting out and filling the data. There's family size. I want to probably be able to see everything. There's parent status, there's mother education, there's father education also. Like a lot of data. So if I probably want to, let me see, I want to sort this one here. I want to filter it rather. Yes. Now further education, I've clicked it and you can see that my header here, everything on my header has changed to something. So if I want to pick, let me come to my age here. You see now, if I want to pick a certain age, because all the age now, Excel has helped me sum up everything that, okay, on my Excel sheet I have people from the age of 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So if I don't want to select everything and I want to select only people who are 15 years old, and I say okay, it's going to filter out everything for me. As you can see now, it has summed everything down for me. The data that was 1,000 something has reduced to what's it called, 2,322. That is me filtering the data. So this data you can see here now is showing me only students at the age of 15. This is it. It has removed people from 16, 17, 18, 19. It has removed them. So I'm only dealing with people with 15 years old. That are 15 years old. That is all. If I want to say, okay, fine, the same 15 years old, I want to see only female. I don't want to see male. Only female. I just click female and I say, okay, now I'm only going to see students who are females only. I'm going to see their data and I'm going to probably use that to work on probably what I want to do. Or if I say, okay, fine, I don't know how many type of schools we have here. Okay, we only have one school. Student ID, we have probably a lot of them. Maybe I don't want to use all of them. I'm probably looking for a specific type of students. Let's choose 39 and I say okay. It has given me the specific student which is on, probably let's say matric number is 39. So So if I'm looking for probably your results on Excel and I'm dealing with thousands of students, but I'm looking for somebody's result and I know the person's matric number, I can just type it on Excel and say Excel should look for this person with the matric number 39, and it's giving me everything the person has. It's telling me the person is a female, the person is 15 years old, this person is staying in a rural area, that the family size is not greater than 3. That means they are probably less than 3 in their family. Is the person living with the parents? If yes, yes. Secondary school, the school the father go, probably the father went to higher institution, the mother stopped in secondary school. Health and the what's it called, the company or whatever the parents are doing, maybe this one is a doctor or service, the course of the student, the activity, different type of thing. You see everything, it is there. The final grade of the student is 11, and how many times the child didn't come to school. As you can see here is 2. The grade of the student, first time is 12, the second grade is also 12, then the final grade is what, I think 11. So you see everything. You're going to see like everything when it comes to you filtering data. So I can now choose and go back and say, okay, fine, let's select everything so that we can see everybody. Then we have our data back. That is the beauty of Excel for you. So you can choose that to sort out your data. I have filtered everything already, so I can choose to say, okay, fine, I'm looking for students who are 18 years old, and I don't want probably 17, 18, I'm looking for only them. Then you see it here, everything is there. Now look at this here. I have 18 to what's it called, like a lot. Now this is stressful for me if I'm doing all these things, trying to look for this thing should, I don't understand, to show me who is 17 or 18 and everything like that. You can just come to sort and from the smallest to the largest so that everything will show up and we are good. So once you have filtered something, you look for it, then you are good. That is one thing about Excel for you. It helps you sort data, and it helps you make data okay. And that is that about that. So if anybody has questions on the first part of our lecture, you can probably quickly ask before my assistant probably dies off. So that is that about this night's class on data. Then we now continue from there, I think on Wednesday again. So if you have any questions, kindly ask please quickly. Let's see. Do we have any question?